Today is day 3 of the daily tutorial, and today I will add some more color to the background. Yesterday I worked on the leaves and the branches and the flowers a little bit, and now let's see what we can do with the background. At this point I'm not sure already which way I would like to go with the background. So until I know which direction I want to go, just what kind of colors, how dark or how light it has to be, until that point I will be very careful and use a very light hand, and the drawing will tell me which way I should go. That's so nice of the coloring and drawing and the creative process, that the process itself will tell you what needs to be done. So there is a little bit of green and a little bit of blue and a little bit of yellow in the background, and gray too. So I will now start with blue. Let's see. I will pick a slightly darker blue than at day 1. This is Helio Blue Reddish. Again, I'm using the Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils. And I'll just pick a place and see what happens if I add some more color. Just like day 1, I will not cover every piece of paper with this blue, because that would rob me from a vibrant and lively background. So I just pick some areas. Now there's another thing you need to be aware of, is that there are 2 ways to bring depth in your drawing. And the first one I already told you about, that is placing warmer colors and cooler colors. The warmer colors will have the idea of being closer to you than the cooler tones. So I will use that principle. But there's another one, and that has to do with light and dark. And the famous TV painter Bob Ross, maybe you know him. He had huge success with his with painting mountains and lakes and trees, happy little trees. He painted a lot of happy little trees, and he once said every highlight needs a shadow, and that's exactly what needs to be done. And I can show you right now. With this branch, the bottom side of the branch has shadow, so that is the darker part, but the top of the branch will be lighter. Now, in order to give the impression that this branch is closer to you than the background, I can make the background darker right beside the lightest area on the branch. Now you can see that this blue I chose is not dark enough to make enough contrast to give you the feeling that this branch is closer to you than the background. So what I will do, I will choose another color and I will choose a dark gray, one I used earlier, the paint gray. And let's see what happens if I put this on top of the blue. Now it might well be that this will not give me the effect I am looking for, but because I'm using a very light touch, I can put many more layers on top of this dark gray until I have the effect that I'm looking for. Now this process of building contrast is, it takes me a lot of hours. But I don't mind, I love it. Now, as I'm looking at the result, I can see that in order to determine whether the background has the right color, I will need to give this branch a little more color. So I will give it a green, the light green. Here it is, light green. And let's see what happens. Okay, this is looking much better already. But I feel this branch needs a little bit of yellow. And I'm using a very light one, the light yellow glaze. Let's see what happens. It's just a very light touch. I'm not pressing the paper at this point because I know I will add many more layers on top of these before I am satisfied with the results. Look, this looks better. Now, I will go back to the background and, well, let's see. Now you can see that the green in the branch is a slightly cooler tone. And now I'm wondering if I put a warmer tone in the background, would that help the branch to pop out? Now I just told you that the warmer tones look closer to you than the cooler tones, but in this case I think a slightly warmer tone in the background could help. Let's go with red violet. Red violet. Let's see. it doesn't have the effect I want yet, so now I will, let's see, I'm thinking about purple, the mauve. Purple is a mixture of red and blue, so it has both cool and warm tones in it. Oh, there's a third contrast thing you can use, and that is, if you know about the color wheel, you might know there you have the primary colors, red, yellow and blue, and then you have the secondary colors. Red and blue makes purple, blue and yellow makes green, and yellow and red makes orange. So if you have the red, the opposite color of red is green, and the opposite color of blue is orange, and so on. And if you put two opposite colors next to each other, they will intensify. The contrast will look great, bigger. So you can use that also. So for example, I won't do that now because it's not what I'm looking for, but if I would put a red background next to a green leaf, there would be huge contrast. That would really help this leaf to pop out. But I think a red background is a bit too much. So I am looking for warmer tones, but no red. Now, because the lower part, the bottom side of the branch is darker, I will be very careful with adding darker colors here, because if I make it just as dark as the branch, it may not help the branch to look closer to you, and that's what I'm looking for continuously. I want that 3D effect in my drawings. Sometimes it works better than other times, but let's see if it works out in this drawing also. Oh, I've been coloring almost outside the range of the camera, so I will change the camera position. Well, from this position you can see the effect of mainly the purple. The purple, I think it is working. Yeah. Let's add some more purple. I will add some here. So well, I'm almost there with the purple. It might be that in a later stadium I will use this purple again, but so far I think it's enough. I will now add some more color to the background, and I chose to do that with this one, Phthalo Blue. Now for this drawing I am using a paper with a fine tooth, but there is definitely a tooth in it. And depending on the paper you use, you can press a little harder with your pencil. The more tooth, the harder you can press. But with a very smooth paper, it is you need to be very careful, because if you press too hard, you will saturate the paper with color and you can no longer layer different colors on top of each other. Now this is a new type of paper I'm reusing right now. I bought it a couple of weeks ago, so I'm still just experimenting a little bit, and as long as I'm not sure how much pressure it can handle, I will just use a very light touch. Now, I think here you can see the effect of a cooler tone next to a warmer tone. This branch has been colored. I colored it yesterday with browns and reds. Yeah, it was not really red, but it was a dark red brownish color. And now that I'm adding this blue next to it, you can see what happens. I am recording this with my phone, and yesterday I got a phone call, so I forgot to edit it out of the video. But today I switched off the sound and buzz, so when there's a phone call I will not hear it, and my phone will stay quiet and just only record this. Much better. So, now as you can see, there needs to be done a lot more, because you can see a lot of white now in the background. So I will add some more color, and this time I think I will go with some yellow. I will use this one, dark cadmium yellow. Now it could well be that these all these colors I'm using in the background will eventually disappear under other layers of color, but they are essential to the final result, because when I will layer on top of this yellow, something of the brightness of the yellow will shine through the other layers. And that is exactly what I want. Look, I like this. Oh. So let's show it from a different angle. Now you see me rubbing the paper. Now you see me sometimes rub the paper like this, and I do that because the Polychromos pencils, you can move the color around a little bit. With the other pencils I have, the Bruinzeel design pencils, that is really not possible. I do have a set of pastel pencils, and well, everybody knows, I think, that you can move that color around very easily, but with these Polychromos pencils you can do that too. And I use that to blend the colors a little bit and smooth things out. It works really well. The only downside is that my fingers get a little bit smudgy. So now I'll take a look at this picture, and I'm looking at the screen of my phone right now, because that helps me to determine whether the drawing is in balance or not. And I can see now that the left top corner needs a little bit more yellow, and the right bottom corner needs a lot more color. Everything, blues and purples, and so. But first I will add some more color to the left top. Here we are in the left top corner. Just adding now let's go to the right bottom corner. Well, a lot needs to be done. I will first take that blue, the phthalo blue I had earlier. So let's add something Now I will get back to the purple I had. That was this one, the mauve. And now I will add some yellow. This one, the dark cadmium yellow, just to add a little sunshine to this area. Now if you look outside your window, you will see when the sun shines. In here the sun shines. Yesterday and the day before it was not so good, the weather, but now the sun is shining. And of course sunshine isn't yellow. It can be yellow, it is every color actually. But yellow gives me the feeling of sunshine, and I think many people will have that feeling. So this is the result so far, and well, it is pretty clear that there needs to be much more contrast between the leaves and the branches and the flowers and the background. And at first I thought I would go for a darker background, but now that I'm seeing this, I'm not so sure. So let's see where this will end. The process will tell us. Well, I feel I want to do something about the leaves, a little bit. Let's see what happens if I make them a little bit darker, and I will use this one, Chromium Green Opaque, and add just a little . Now the way the leaves look right now, they look very flat, almost like they've been ironed. But in nature, leaves never look flat. There are always bumps and bruises, and there's a lot going on in leaves. So I will start with now make them look a little bit less like a paper leaf. Just add some structure to it. That's not the word I'm looking for. I'm just drawing little circles. Look, this is working. Blend it a little bit. That's much better. I will now do the other 3 leaves, and then I will get back to you. Takes you, spares you some time. So here is the result of adding some texture to the leaves. And now I will add some bruises, because many leaves in nature have some bumps and bruises. So I will use a brown. Let's see. I chose this one. Burnt sienna. And again, I'm just making very small circles. Now it really doesn't matter where you place these bruises and bumps, because in nature it can happen everywhere. I just came back from a skiing trip in the Austrian Alps, and I'm a bad skier, so I took some falls. No major injuries, but still I fell, and my legs have a lot of bruises right now. It's not, luckily it's not painful or something, but nature is not looking for my bruises are not. Let's say, when you paint, you are looking for, when you paint or draw, you are looking for some sort of balance in your drawing. But when you want it to look natural, you have to break that rule sometimes. And if you look at this leaf now, I unconsciously made balance. Here a bruise, there a bruise, here a bruise, there a bruise. And now I would almost put a bruise here too. But that's not what I need to do. I need to break the balance. I need to break the symmetry. So I will now make this bruise a lot bigger. The bruises on my legs are not symmetrical, I can tell you that, because that is nature. This is much better. I will do another leaf. Let's take a look at this one. I think this is a bruise. And this leaf has some damage over here. And let's say here. And here. So here are my leaves now. I gave them some bruises and bumps, and this is part of building structure and make the leaves look more natural. Now, of course, these leaves are imaginary leaves. I didn't pick them from nature. I didn't sketch them after a leaf that I found in my garden. I just drew a leaf that I think looks nice. So I can do with this leaf whatever I want, because it doesn't exist in nature. So I'm free to do whatever I want, and I like that. Now I will add a little more color to the leaves. green gold. Let's see. Now, while coloring this drawing, there are areas that I'm not really happy about yet, but that is okay, because there will be many more layers on top of these, and eventually everything will come together. So if you make a little mistake or you don't feel happy about an area that you colored, don't take your eraser and erase everything immediately. Just keep it there and just let the creative process do its work. For example, I just put some green gold here, and there's something wrong about it, about the shape of. Now I can add more green gold and push harder, so more color on the paper, but that will prevent me from adding more layers on top of it. So I will leave it. When I'm really not happy about it, I can always take the eraser and take it off, but I don't think it's that bad, and I can handle it with, I can repair it with when I am adding the next layer. So this is okay. So this is the drawing so far. Tomorrow we will proceed. Looking at it now, I think tomorrow I will again get back to the background and see which way we need to go with that. I think I'm not sure yet. It could become a darker background, but it can also be that it will be lighter. I'm not sure yet. If you have any idea about any suggestion which way I should go, you can post it. I'd love to hear. Until tomorrow.